Hello students, today we will discuss about communication. We'll try to define what is communication. Communication is an English term derived from the Latin word communis and communicare. These are two Latin terms related to the word communication. Communis is a noun which means common, and communicare is a verb which means make something common. So ultimately both the words communis and communicare are related to something common. Community members have common to each other. Naturally, when a group of people share something common, they usually form a community. Or communication is said to be the foundation of community. Hence, where there is no communication, there cannot be any kind of community. Therefore, scholars relate the term communication with the English word community. We all understand that communication is fundamental to the existence and survival of humans. In the same way, it is also fundamental to the existence and working of an organization. It is the process of creating and sharing ideas, information, views, facts, feelings, etc. among the people to reach a common understanding. This is the general accepted definition of communication. Communication is the transfer of thoughts, ideas, or any kind of message with one another. As we have already seen, the meanings of the Latin words communis and communicare, the exact meaning of the word communicate is to share or to participate. The dictionaries say that communication is the transmission of a message or information by speaking or writing. So here we are referring to the different kinds of communication. One is what? Oral. That is, we share messages by speaking. The other is written. We convey or share messages in the form of writing. Another dictionary declares that communication is giving or exchanging information, signals, messages by talk or gestures or writing. So in this definition, another type of communication is added, that is non-verbal communication. This definition wants to convey us the meaning that even without speaking or writing, messages, thoughts, ideas can be exchanged or transferred with one another. This may take place in the form of gestures, signals, different kinds of body languages. So, we now have three kinds of communication system: oral, written, and non-verbal. Communication is giving, receiving, or exchanging ideas, information, signals, or messages through appropriate media, enabling individuals or groups to persuade, to seek information, to give information, or to express emotions. So this is a very broad-based definition of communication. See, it says that it enables individuals or groups either to persuade, either to seek information or give information, or to express our emotions. This definition includes body language, skills of speaking and writing. So this definition outlines the objectives of communication. Here, what are the objectives? Just have a look. The objectives are to persuade, to seek information, to give information, to express emotions. And one more thing it emphasizes, that listening is a very important aspect of communication. We can also add with listening, that is paying attention. We can listen only when someone speaks. If someone writes, we have to pay attention to the words to understand the meaning. If someone is trying to convey some messages through non-verbal means, then also we have to pay attention to understand what the person wants to convey to us. Every communication involves one sender, a message, and a recipient. So these are the three important elements that are vital for a communication to take place: sender of the message itself, and the receiver of the message. This sounds very simple, that okay, we have three elements: speaker, message, and the receiver, and okay, the communication is done. But no, communication is actually a very complex subject. The transmission of the message from sender to recipient can be affected by a huge range of things. It is often said, or we often hear the thing, I'm sorry, I didn't get the message. Oh, actually, I didn't follow you. Oh, I have misunderstood. So these are the common things that we hear every day. And that's why it is being said that communication is a very complex subject, because most of the time the message is not delivered as intended to, because a huge number of factors, which are called barriers of communication, interrupt or act as an obstacle for the message to be delivered smoothly and successfully. Let us look at some of the barriers that interfere in our communication process. This includes our emotions, the cultural situation, the medium used to communicate, and even our location. Our emotions play a big role in interfering the communication process. We should never try to communicate anything important when we are in a very disturbed state of mind. Either when we are very excited, or we are very sad over something, we are stressed, we are distressed. We should never try to establish communication with others, because it is likely that the process will get hampered in the midway, and the message which we really want to convey will not be conveyed properly to the receiver. Cultural situation. When two persons belonging to two different cultures, then also it comes in the way of successful communication. Then the medium, it plays a big role, because we need to decide exactly what is the medium we should adopt so that the message can be conveyed properly. The complexity is why good communication skills are considered so desirable by employers around the world. For all these reasons, for all the complexity that is involved in the communication process, employers all over the world look for good communication skills in employees. Accurate, effective, and unambiguous communication is actually extremely hard to achieve. So I'd like to stop here. Thank you, students.